everyone, this is Barry, and I'm going to show you really quick how to make a simple diagonal friendship bracelet. So what I have to start is I cut out 4 colors of string. They're about 2.5 to 3 feet long. I usually just end up measuring about the length of my arm, and that ends up being enough string to make a good bracelet length for most campers. So I used purple, orange, lime green, and blue, and they're all cut to the same length. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie them all together. So I'm gonna line them up here. And when you tie this initial knot, the initial knot is just a really simple, you make a loop and tie it through. It's a little slip knot. When you do this, you want to make sure that there's enough string at the top, because this is what the camper is going to use to tie the bracelet around their wrist. And a lot of them, if you give them a little tiny bit to tie, like this little bit, they end up not being able to tie it on their wrist. So make sure you give them a little bit of space. And once you have that nice and tight, you're going to go ahead and you're going to want to anchor your string. So doing this, you can tie it on a water bottle, you can use a safety pin, really anything. I'm going to use tape today just to tie it to this desk. So there it is. And then I'm going to separate it out in the order that I want the colors to be on the diagonal. So this will be a nice pattern. So I have green, and then purple, then orange, and then blue. So to start off, you're always going to start on your left-hand side. If you need to make an L with your hand, no judgment. So you're going to start on this leftmost string, and you're going to make a 4. So if you look at it here, it's kind of that weird 4 that you would draw that no one actually does. So there's that 4. So you're going to cross the green over top the purple, and then you're going to go underneath the purple and through this little hole, holding the purple really, really tight. You're going to pull, you'll have a little loop, and you're going to pull it all the way up to the top. And you're going to do that 2 times for every single color. So with the green around the purple again, we have that 4, and then you're going to take the green's tail and you're going to go underneath the purple like that, and then holding the purple nice and tight, you're going to pull this loop all the way up to the top. You don't have to pull it super, super tight. I've seen some people pull it so tight that the string breaks. So this is just enough to where you feel it can't move anymore, but it's good. So we've done it twice around the purple. So we're going to keep with this green, and we're going to go on to the next color, moving from left to right as if you were reading. So now we're going to make that 4 around the orange string. So we make that 4 around the orange string. Then you're going to take the green and go underneath the orange, and then holding that orange nice and tight, you're going to pull it all the way up to the top. And like I said, we do this twice on each string. So we're going to make that 4 again. We're going to go underneath, and then we're going to pull it all the way up to the top. So now we've done it, we've wrapped the green around the purple and the orange, so all we have left is the blue. So again, we're going to make that 4, we're going to wrap it underneath, then holding the blue nice and tight, we're going to pull this green all the way up to the top, and we're going to do that one more time so we have it twice. So we have the 4, going underneath the blue, holding the blue tight, we're going to pull all the way up to the top. So now you'll notice that the green was originally on the left side, but it's moved slowly all the way to the right. So that's one row. So we're gonna go again, and we're gonna look, after we're done with a row, what color is on the leftmost side, and now it's purple. So we're gonna repeat that process, but instead of the green going across, we're gonna use the purple. So we're gonna make the 4 over top the orange this time, using the purple string. We're gonna loop it underneath. Sometimes the string gets tangled, that's okay. And we're gonna pull it all the way up to the top, and we're gonna do that twice. So we have the 4, we're gonna loop it underneath, and then we're gonna pull it all the way up to the top. So the purple, which was on the leftmost side, has done 2 4s around the orange. So we're gonna move on to the next color, reading left to right, which is blue this time. So we make the 4, we wrap it around, and then we're gonna pull it all the way up to the top. And we always do that twice. So one more time, purple going around the blue, and all the way up. So now we look and we have one more color reading left to right for the purple. So we're gonna take the purple, we're gonna go around the green, make the 4, loop it underneath, and pull it all the way up. And we do that twice. Make the 4, pull it underneath, and loop it all the way up to the top. So again, much like the green, the purple was on the left side and now it's all the way onto the right. So we can go ahead and start again, reading left to right. Ignore the motorcycle going across the street. So reading left to right, we have the orange, and we're gonna do the process all over again. So I'm gonna do this one a little bit faster. Once you get the hang of it, you can. So the orange is gonna go around the blue twice. And then we look over, the orange is then, the next color in line is green. Oh, lost my tape. And then last but not least, the orange is gonna go around the purple. So then the orange was on the left side, it's now on the right. So then we will repeat it once more with the blue, which is our last color in this diagonal pattern. So we'll do it twice again with the blue going around the green. And then the blue going around the purple. And then the blue going around the orange. My tape plan didn't work for this paper. Twice through. So now you'll see that we ended with this section where we began. We started with the green on the left side and we moved it across, then we did the purple, then the orange, and then lastly the blue. So you're just gonna continue to repeat this process until you feel like the bracelet is long enough to wrap around a camper's wrist. So I usually measure it on my own wrist because I have super tiny wrist and it matches most campers. If you get to the end and you're not quite sure how long you want to make it, you can always just braid the end. I'll usually just combine the two middle and I'll just do a simple braid going over top each. And that gives the campers a little bit of something easier to tie around that's not as thick as the bracelet part you were folding. And then when you're done, goodness, you'll just tie another knot like we did in the beginning where you do a loop with all 4 of them. And you'll tie it like that. So I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. But yeah, happy bracelet making.